dear audience, and my name is Timo Strandberg from Finland, and I would like to warmly welcome you to this symposium on proteins and health. I would like to thank the organizers and the sponsors for the possibility to organize this very important session or symposium. And as an introduction, we know that sufficient protein and energy intake are necessary for both muscle and bone health. Still, we also know that poor intake is very prevalent among several groups of older people, and this includes both home living and those older people living in nursing homes. This poor intake leads to protein energy malnutrition, which further predisposes to mobility impairment. And mobility impairment in turn is often associated with decreased food intake, which further worsens protein energy malnutrition. So, consequently, protein energy malnutrition and mobility impairment associated with age, mobility reducing chronic diseases and acute events, they are not separate conditions. So there's sort of a vicious circle which ensues. And common consequences of malnutrition and mobility impairment are listed here. There's a negative impact on individuals' health-related quality of life, which includes pain and reduced ability to engage in activities of daily living. There are unfavorable clinical outcomes such as fatigue, falls, often leading to subsequent fractures, like hip fractures, concurrent sarcopenia, muscle loss, impaired wound healing, and impaired immune responses. And finally, all this leads to generation of substantial economic burden because of increased number of hospitalizations, greater reliance on residential care services like nursing homes, and overall increased use of healthcare services for the patient. So, in this session, we would like to give you keys how to break this vicious circle. And for the speakers in this session, we have two persons, I would say, of the highest international level who are updating or will update your knowledge on these very important aspects. Professor Alfonso Crociento and Professor Preso Riccioli. A very short introduction about them. Preso Crociento is a physician, specialist in geriatric medicine, and he chairs the geriatric department of the Hospital Universitario Ramón y Cajal in Madrid, Spain. He's also a professor of geriatrics at the Universidad Europea de Madrid. He has been acting as a president of the European Union Geriatric Medicine Society, EUGMS, and now he is the member of its academic board. And very importantly, he's the editor-in-chief of European Geriatric Medicine, the official journal of the EUGMS. Professor Alfonso Crociento is chairing the European Working Group on Sarcopenia in older people, and he's also a member of the World Health Organization Clinical Consortium on Healthy Aging. He represents Spain in the board of the International Association of Gerontology and Geriatrics, IAGG, and he has been serving and is serving in the editorial board of some major geriatric journals, both European and in the United States. And then Professor Preso Riccioli. He's a medical doctor specialized in internal medicine and endocrinology, with subspecialty focus on metabolic bone diseases, osteoporosis, and disorders of bone mineral metabolism. Presently, he is emeritus professor of medicine at the University of Geneva, Switzerland, former head of the Service of Bone Diseases, and also former chairman of the Department of Rehabilitation and Geriatrics at the Geneva University Hospitals in Switzerland. He has been involved in several research projects, both basic and clinical, focusing on hormone action, regulation of growth, regulation of mineral homeostasis, and pathophysiology of osteoporosis. He's the author of almost 1,000 scientific articles, and he's currently the editor-in-chief of Calcified Tissue International and Musculoskeletal Research, and associate editor of Osteoporosis International, both leading journals in the field of bone metabolism. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the program for this session. After my introduction, Professor Preso Crociento will speak about proteins and muscle health. And after him, Professor Riccioli will introduce you to proteins of bone health. So, dear audience, please welcome to the role of proteins in older adults' malnutrition. Please, Alfonso, starting this symposium.